Welcome back everyone, I'm BakuBrad96 here with more Bakugan Pro gameplay. This time it's match number 4 featuring the losers of the first and second games, Darkus and Haos. Going forward I am hoping to get redemption for Darkus, so let's all see how it goes. Turn 1 I believe we're both going to choose Nelius to start with, which is really cool. I do notice that my dice is a little off camera there. I apologize for that because it is hard to keep track of the energy otherwise. It's the equivalent of the Starbucks cup on the Game of Thrones set, I suppose. But back to the game, we do both roll. My Nelius stands perfectly and blocks the other one. I don't know what to say. Darkest Nelius is best Nelius. So right out of the gate, I am going to be swinging in here with a +3 green fist, giving me a total of 5 damage. Nelius's ability would go off here, but there are no Bakucrew to remove. I do hit the Haos Sluggler, which it's always good to get rid of opponent's Geogun, as well as a flip card there. That Halt Outsiders would have been deadly later on in the game, so definitely glad to get rid of that early on. Just taking the time here to readjust everything. I know there's a long pause. While there's a pause though, I do want to let everyone know that 80% of you watching are still not subscribed. I'm working hard on bringing more Bakugan content to everyone that everyone will enjoy, especially these little tournaments like this. So if you like Bakugan, if you like the new evolutions, consider subscribing because I will have unboxings going next month. More gameplay, just a ton of Bakugan content. I am devoting all of my free time to everything Bakugan for all of you to enjoy. But here, this is round 2. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself blabbering. I did play Lightning, so for 2 energy, that hero is when you open a Bakugan, you get +3 damage. We rolled, we both missed, which, I'm just going to continue talking because this is a series of epic fails. And while recording this, I thought about cutting it, but I wanted to keep the whole game because it turned out to not be a very long game after all. And you will all see why here in a minute, trust me. No spoilers, but plenty of epic fails here. We go for another roll. And keep in mind, this is all the one turn. We still haven't landed, and I believe this is the third try, going into the 4th try now. One thing I can say is that Arliss Blitzfox, the magnet is either really weak or it is just so strong it never wants to open. But there again is another attempt. You see me trying to will it in place there, but even that was not enough to get it on the Bakucrew. You know what they say though, 5 times the charm. I don't think anyone says that. It's usually the 3rd time, but when you can't roll, right? Another miss. So by now I imagine most of you have clicked off, but for those of you still watching, if you've seen my other content, you know I am not lying. I told you all I could not roll for anything. But I finally do get that Sectonoid to open on kind of a marble weird spin shoot. I don't get a Bakucrew, but after that many fails, I will take the win. Any means necessary. So because of the lightning here, I do have +3 because I opened, so that is 4 damage coming in. My opponent did have a Bakugear card there with some armor rating, which was unfortunate. Either way, it was finally a win, and that is now 2 Bakugan open. Just one more, and it is the team attack. Meanwhile, my opponent doesn't have any wins in yet, so Darkus is taking the lead. Going on into the next round, we do both play an energy. I want to say this is the 3rd turn, so that's 3 energy. We both have 3 energy at the time. Going for the roll, I pick Dragonoid. My opponent has Colossus. We both miss. Nothing new, right? And I'm pretty sure that Darkest Platinum Dragonoid hates me. And I even practiced rolling off camera before we filmed, and I still failed enough for my opponent to get the stand there. So my opponent hits a green fist, I miss. I'm not positive because I can't absolutely remember, but yes, it is 4 that's coming in here. A lot of good I do with commentary, right? Armor rating always saves the day there. I did take the 4 there, so I was right. That's good. The field is a mess. OCD kicks in. Just going to try to get it to a playable state. At least one side touching. I believe that is the rules. New turn, new energy. We are at 4 now. My opponent goes for the Neleus. I'm going for the last one, which is that dreaded Dragonoid. I will take that off the team as soon as this tournament is over. I will be happy to have different Bakugan. So this time my opponent does to me what I did to them the first time, and that is the Neleus block. They landed on the core perfectly, blocked me. Just the shape of the core Neleus design and it being platinum, it is really good for blocking. That's kind of a move I've used. It's called the Neleus block, and whenever you stand a Neleus like that, that's what it is. I should copyright that or trademark it or something, but Spin Master beat me to it with the names. So I take the damage there off of Neleus and readjust the core. Now at this time it is 2 against 2 as far as the open Bakugan. Coming up, we are both rolling for the team attack. My opponent's back on the Blitz Fox. I'm still on that Dragonoid. Going for the Marble Shoot again. I had luck with the Sectonoid, but unfortunately the only thing that Dragonoid took out was my opponent's dice. And the reroll here. Again with the Marble Shoot, I am trying anything at this point to get a stand. And it doesn't... Oh, it does happen there, that's right. So because Dragonoid is so janky, we do count when it grabs the core like that. Lucky for me, I suppose. But, you know, if it happened to my opponent, I would give them the win, obviously. Sometimes Bakugan don't work perfectly, but they're still awesome. So the hero card Lightning definitely putting in weight here. But doesn't matter, my opponent drops a Hyenix. This thing is beefy, and because I don't want my Geogon to break, I do have a friendly thing with anyone I play with, that because of the mechanic with Geogon, just drop them on the core you want. Like, there is a 99% chance of getting the core anyway, and they don't break that way, because if you've seen my content, you all know the story of my Stardox, and if you drop a Geogon from a card length above the hide matrix, it's gonna break. Like, I don't care how strong that is. Plastic is plastic. And I don't want it to happen personally, so warning to everyone, just be careful. But the thing about Hyenix, for all that B power, it did have a low damage. I take 1 there. That wasn't that bad at all, but it is a shame because the Dragonoid did stand, but Geogon. I will say that throughout this whole game, I have hardly played, if not any, Geogon, and then not a single Nanogon has been dropped this entire tournament. Really surprising. It's not that we haven't, tried to, just haven't met the conditions on any of them. But here we are for the next roll-in. 2 janky platinums. But I get it with that jank count, so I do get the shield. It's not falling off, so the Bakugan does have it. This here is going to be the finishing blow. My opponent doesn't have anything to do, and with the lightning hero, it's going to be a lot of damage in here. And I'll tell you why it's the finishing blow here in a moment. As this damage stacks up, Dragonoid was the third to open, so now it's the team attack. And with so much coming in, you know, my opponent counts it out, and that's it. That's the rest of their deck. That's all. Darkus did win. That comeback was epic. You know, the Haos deck is not that great. That Blitzfox would not open. And really, it wasn't the card's fault. It really was the Blitzfox. So maybe next game, I'll switch up the Bakugan. Hopefully that deck will be a little better. But I'm thankful Darkus won. I hope you all enjoyed watching. I know it was fun to record. Thank you all for the support so far. The channel is growing tremendously. I couldn't be here without you. See you all next time.